This is the Red Lobo reaction show to last night's 2-1 loss at Adams Park. Wycombe stealing it, almost. They definitely didn't deserve it or anything like that and weren't completely outplayed in the 95th minute, which makes it, I think we went through today, 6 times we've conceded a 90th plus minute so far. We've conceded the most so far in the 75th to 90th minute already this season. So we're going to look at that. We're then going to discuss transfer window. Obviously, yesterday threw up even more questions of no goalkeeper, we don't want a striker. We need some centre backs. I mean, I've been saying it for a while that we've only kept 4 clean sheets all season. It's a little bit of a worry. And then finally, we'll get on to this weekend as we welcome Burton. So let's get stuck into it. Right. So we'll quickly recap yesterday's uneventful game that didn't have a bit of everything in it. So early on, Wycombe set off quick. A early chance, poor from Pines, who got turned and almost made it 1-0 within the first 2 minutes, but then we responded fairly all right. Russell giving us a lead on 10 minutes, deflected effort from the edge of the box. From that point, though, seems like we sat in. Killip made a good one-on-one save. Ado had a collision with Killip that wasn't given a foul and was one-on-one with him at that point as well. Missed. Leahy forced Killip to full stretch. You'll notice there's a lot of Wycombe chances coming through, which is always a great sign. Second half, though, we probably did have the 2 better chances of the half. Earl's chance from the free kick from O'Keefe that he managed to put 5 yard wide from being 5 yard away. Leahy's half volley that I think Killip did save, and I think he would have expected to. Then it went very downhill very fast. Quick throw in, penalty given away by Pines or Connell. I think it was Pines that eventually gave it away, which were a bit of a pain. That Coney then scored that penalty. Matt Roberts decided to make one of the most ridiculous tackles I've ever seen for such an unnecessary reason. Got sent off, and yeah, that all happened in a 4-minute period, which was fantastic. And then we actually looked better with 10 men. Adam Phillips with a glorious opportunity to nick it towards the end of the game, blaze it over from out a yard away. Conrad had a shot from the halfway line that almost dipped in, and eventually, for all the persistence of Wycombe, they did finally take the lead in the 90th minute. McCarthy stepped out of defence, got beaten, Gareth cleared across it in, and it's a fantastic error from Coney after Pines looked at him and then didn't bother to mark him, and then he headed it in unmarked. So, Al, that's all that happened yesterday.
Now breathe, Josh. Now breathe.
Yeah. It was a very, very frustrating game, especially sort of from that first 2 minutes when Wycombe looked, and it seemed so obvious what Wycombe kept doing of turning our back 3 down at any opportunity they could get to run in behind, because Mark Roberts, Pines and Earl, they're not the quickest defenders. Coney, Leahy, every wide player for Wycombe seemed to have joy against us yesterday. And it was just so frustrating of sort of how easy it was for Wycombe to continue time after time getting behind us.
It was. I mean, you're on about that way, Leigh, that first chance they had. When it bounced and Pines missed it and he went round back, he shot and it went wide. Looking at that when I saw it, he was behind ref. He actually handballed it. He controlled it, but nobody saw that one. So that was the first one. Russell had a couple of a chance before when he hit it, and it come off one of their defenders. And then he was lucky with shot what rebounded off one of their and flat-footed their keeper. Is it Ravioli, whatever his name is? And
I've just had some of that.
Definitely Ravioli, definitely. That's definitely his name.
We're 1-0 up, aren't we? So, yeah, it's just one of them, isn't it? And you're thinking, oh, we can play well here, and we can go and take game to them. Got that wrong, didn't we? After we'd scored, it were war attrition. Back foot, all second half. I don't think we got after his own half, and I don't think we had another shot on target. So that were poor. And all they were doing were balls right back over the top and turning our defenders and no answer to it. I think it's the worst defence I've seen this season for us. And then we're going at half time, 1-0 up, and you think, oh, regroup, let's sort it out. We can take game to them and get a quick second goal. Nah, it didn't work, did it? No, it were just one of them. And Coney could have had 3 goals before he scored. If it weren't for Killip, and we at Killip, it could have been 5-6.
Yeah.
And then we get that throw in. And to be honest, referee should have picked that up. I know our players give foul throws away, but his foot were off ground. He took a quick one, and I think his foot were off floor when he threw it into penalty area. And their plan, it was who were going into the box, but he was tugging Luca to start with on his shirt. Looked as though Luca were tugging him back, but no, their player had got his shirt. So I'm not saying half dozen 1-6 other, but Pines were wrong with what he did. He were actually going nowhere. He could have just stood his ground, and we get that penalty away. And then all of a sudden, Robbo, I didn't think it was a red card. I think Mr. Drysdale were a bit harsh and quick. But when watching it again, it was intent. There were intent there to take him out and destroy Coney and get him out of the game. So I said to Kate, I says, hopefully we can rescind it and appeal it. But I doubt whether they will appeal that one. And then with chances to nick it, as you say. Any other time, Adam Phillips should have put that in. But I didn't understand why he didn't go with his head. Why did he go with his foot? He should have gone for his head. I think he'd have a better chance going with his head. And then Luke from just inside their half, just tried to do a windass and ended up on top of roof. And then where we go again, same as Saturday, get into additional time, similar goal, get out wide, put ball in box, bish bash boss, game over. That's 3 games now. We've get it away, and defence has a lot to answer for, to be honest. And midfield's not being effective. Gent, I don't think he was effective. Too many players last night, again, off the mark. And I feel sorry for 380-odd Reds fan who travelled. They deserve better.
Yeah, certainly do. Craig, I've seen a lot of sort of so far on social media, a lot of people. Well, I said that it's been split in terms of people blaming Clark and people say, "What's he supposed to do with what he's got?" He's not told Matt Roberts to go flying in. He's not told him to defend 18-yard box since we've scored. It was just one of those games. I think Wycombe had our number from the start. You could see when they first got through the door of what exactly they were going to do all evening. So I think for me, Clark could have done more to stop what was happening. I don't think he's absolved of blame, but I do think when he brought on Kieran Lofthouse right at the end, I think he made a bit of a statement by bringing him on, being like, "This is what I'm dealing with. I'm putting a right wing back up front to try and get something from this game."
Yeah, I think players fundamentally have to take a lot of the blame. Roberts clearly lost his head. That were a tackle where you could clearly see him gritting his teeth. You know, that was just because he was fuming about the conceded goal and he's gone flying in, and there's no way that's the way a leader should be reacting, because all you're doing there is showing younger players that it's okay to do something like that because you're mad or you're angry. Or, I mean, you know, he let himself down there more than anybody else. You know, a lot of Connell said on multiple interviews that he looks to Roberts, even though Luke is the captain, he looks to Roberts for advice, as a role model, all this, and then you see him do something like that, and it just shows that nobody's infallible. And yeah, he really let him sit down. We know what Wycombe were going to do. Balls over the top. I mean, Kone's been. I mean, he's going to Luton for about 6 million, if reports to be believed. You know, he's an unbelievable striker, and we put him up against Pines, who I have stated on multiple occasions, he's 1-to-1 when he's running back with somebody. He's so weak, and he struggles. He really struggles, and so does Roberts. Now he's getting on in age a little bit. So the high line for me, that's on the manager. I think we should have played a lot deeper. We should have known what to expect. They've got good wingers. You know, McCleary's really good. He come on in the second half. The wingers that they started with are really direct. We needed to just basically hit them on the counter-attack. So I think the game plan was wrong. And as we saw throughout the game, they dominated large parts of it. And I know we played better when we were down to 10 men, but they took the foot off the gas. They knew the goal was going to come. I knew the goal was going to come. You know, I think Doug O'Kane's tweet after the game said it all. We concede a large majority of our goals after 75 minutes. You know, so is that down to manager? Is that down to the players? You know, that's mentally. That is mentally, you cannot stay engaged for a full game. You know, but ultimately, who I put all this blame down to is at the minute, the manager's not being backed. And like you said, putting Lofthouse on, he's done that. That's a statement. He's saying, look, this is what I've got left. You know, and our squad's way too thin. You know, couple of injuries and we're absolutely screwed in the majority of circumstances in the majority of positions. You know, we're struggling all over the park. Humphries is not injured, so God knows how long he's been out for. Not too sure. Clark keeps coming out and defending the players. He can only do that for so long.
Yeah.
But as I've been reading on Twitter, I think if anybody's head's going to roll at the end of this, it won't be people upstairs. It'll be Clark, and that'll be another good manager.
Yeah.
That is going to have to leave the club because they've not been back correctly. And for me, that's who I'm looking at now. I'm looking at Mladen, who made promises at the start of January. He said players would be leaving if they're not needed. There's players we're not using and they're not going nowhere. We need players in. We were promised players in. We've got one. We've got one back from loan that has not even seen the bench yet. You know, and I think he could offer something. You know, at least give the lad a chance. It's better than it's better than putting a left wing back up front. You know, every year we have declined. Every year we're getting slowly and slowly worse. Now we're having little streaks where we look good. The fans get hyped. Like, oh yeah, here we go. You know, we won't wait to Premier League and all this stuff, right? And you know, it's all fun and games. But at the end of the season, the table doesn't lie. And every season, we're going lower and lower and lower down this league. And it'll not be long before we're in League Two.
And it's first time since 2015 we've lost 3 on bounce.
But look where that season finished. Look where that finished when we did that. You see, I've got to think about it. Just on that, Craig, of managed decline, which I don't get it, because if we don't get promoted, the owners keep having to foot an £8 million gap.
That's why I don't understand why they're not willing to back the manager.
That's what makes me think it's not that they're not trying. I mean, if it's to believe, Will Norris has turned us down. So we had a deal agreed for a keeper to come in. That's what Andy Giddings just put on. Yeah. So it's not. I don't think it's not. Right. It's not for. Let me finish. It's not for the. It's not for the want of trying, I suppose. You'd like to see more investment made and more players signed and better quality. I get that, but then we're slowly getting worse. We've dropped 2 positions in 2 seasons, and we're both seasons finishing the exact same position. It didn't matter if we finished 21st or 3rd or 4th, wherever we finished. It didn't matter because we're still in the same league. We had ambitions to get out of it. I think the chance was the first season we came down. When you look at that back 3 that we actually had of Bobby Thomas, Liam Kitchen, Mads Anderson, you could send the rest of the team forward because them 3 could defend. You're never going to be able to replace that in League One. You can't. 1 went to Premier League and 2 went for a decent bashing Championship. You're not going to get a team, barring Birmingham, that's going to bring in a championship quality centre back or a championship quality 3 like that. You can get better ones that will need replacing, like Mark Roberts or Mal de Giverny. You can't get that standard in League One. So that's the one thing. I appreciate everyone wants that. I think everyone wants the board to do better, but when you look at everyone else's sort of defence, Stevenage, Piergiani's 38, playing at centre half. You're not expecting to still be able to do what he's doing, but he's doing well within
Right, they've just signed Charlie Good on a free transfer. Why couldn't we get him? Lewis Sibley's just gone to Rotherham. Dion Charles has just gone to Huddersfield. Joe Randall's just gone to Bolton. Why can't we get in for these players?
The last few of them have gone for a lot of money. It's like saying Joe.
What are we? What are we? Potless? Are we absolutely skint? Do we have no money whatsoever? Because there's one thing that I think that's getting us away from a lot of these. We don't pay the wages that other clubs will.
That we don't.
Cameron Brannigan played for Oxford and were coming 16th in the league, and they were still being able to afford to pay him £8 a week. But we don't pay over 5, I think. I think we do this season, but previous seasons we're not paying over 5. We are doing this thing where we're trying to keep up, but we're not willing to put the same in. And we're clinging on by the skin of our fingernails, and that'll only last for so long until it just goes pear shaped, and then that's it. We're just going to keep going further down.
I think one of the highest paid players is Josh Benson, though. I think there's still there's a tiny bit of lingering championship wages within the club. Most of it went then. So there's a couple of players that'll be on good money that we're not getting much out of. I'd imagine, you'd imagine realistically, Luke and Phillips should be the two highest paid players because to sign new deals off the back of good seasons. But I think there is a couple of players that are in there that we're not using that are still on championship money for where we are.
But also, this is one thing that I would say. We are not utilising loans as much as we could. You're allowed 5. We should utilise that to its maximum, get championship players that aren't being played, that are good quality. You might only have to pay half the wage. You might not even have to pay full wages for them. Right, but that is 5 championship quality players can be enough to boost you from 9th, 10th table to be fighting for top 3 spots. And we need to utilise that better. I think Norris would have been a fantastic goalkeeper. I think he has been the most stressful goalkeeper I have ever seen come to Oakwell. He winds me up every time he comes, right? And that's a good thing for him, because that's what he's meant to do. And that's what we really could do with somebody who's, Killip's doing absolutely fantastic. Don't get me wrong. If we went with Killip for the rest of the season, it wouldn't bother me. I think he's earned his stripes. I think he's the only player out there that's fighting in every game. And I've seen him yelling at them defenders. And especially at Ghent. He's given Ghent a lot of stick past a few games. But that's the sort of level we do need to look at. But I'm sick of hearing reports. Couldn't agree personal terms with player, or the player decided to go somewhere else, or couldn't agree a fee and stuff like this. It's getting annoying, because it's like, let's have a look at what you could have won, and it's and then we end up signing some non-league Donny, and you're like, what what am I supposed to do with that? So yeah, they need to do better. That's what all I'm asking for. Do better.
Saying that though, could get Coney, who were playing in Essex 9th division or something last season.
That's it. But they can be smart. Obviously, I'm not going to say every non-league player can't play at our level. There's going to be the odd gem that's hidden, but these guys are not hitting it enough to be constantly going there as often as they are. Sometimes you need some good old 28-plus-year-old reliable journeyman who's been there, done it, and knows what they're doing. You can't just keep going, this 21-year-old, he could, Ivan Toney, when he played for us, who'd have guessed he would have been worth 60 million when he played for us? Because I used to just think he was just used to run with his bum sticking out all the time. That's all he used to do. He was like Raheem Sterling. But look at him eventually.
That's what goes on. Jane, bring it back to last night. And Craig touched on it there earlier, sort of the leadership angle, especially someone like Robbo. You expect who you expect to be, especially given sort of the circumstance of when it happened. Of we've just conceded, that's not great. Yeah. We've not been great all evening. We've almost done well to only be drawing at the time. We could have been 2 or 3 down by that point. But for him to go and do what he did, it was just so idiotic, I thought.
Unnecessary and leading by a bad example. But as I was saying before, is this showing the frustrations of the team and why they're getting frustrated? I wasn't impressed with that. None of us are going to be impressed with that. He's one of the older heads in the squad. As we've just said, there's players that look up to him. It's a terrible example to set. Now, he might have some regrets on that today. We don't know. You'd have to ask him. but shocking example of a team of very young players, and you look to him to lead. Although he's not the captain, you still look to him to lead. So I was really disappointed. I just thought, well, what point in that? What we all sat there, didn't they, going, why? Why have you done that? Why? As if we're not having a bad enough game. What's concerning me from all this listening to Alan and all of you is, and your stats, is the 75-minute plus dip that we have. Why? That really needs addressing. That's for me as a fan is a major concern. Is it they can't hold the concentration for that length of time? Is it fitness? Is that an issue? Because if you start dropping, if all your players are dropping between 75, 80 to 85 minutes, can we not put a full game in? Can we not put a full shift in? What's happening? It's another one of them, Josh. There's so much in there to unravel. Just from listening to the stats, listening to the show, listening to fans. It's like, where do we start here? You know,
it's like dropping points, Jane, isn't it?
What?
Wrexham.
Yeah.
Last additional time. We could have come away from Wrexham with a point. We should have had a point against Stevenage. We should have point yesterday.
What is the problem?
A football team can't giving goals away in additional time as we've done. Because we could come away with something. Even though we've not got 3 points, you're still picking points.
But we need to figure out what is it. What is it? Is it the concentration? Is it fitness? Is it both?
Is it a system? Is it subs? It could be anything.
Yeah.
You can't put your finger on it. I agree.
It's frustrating though, isn't it? Because you're just like, it's happening every game. Why? You need to get hold of that. Because them goals can win your games. They're your points. You know, they're what keeps you in the league. That's what gets you promotion. I know it seems a minuscule thing, but it's really not. If you can address that and find out why, that can change your season.
Well, yeah, you made a good point there. In the last 2 games, if we hadn't conceded them 2 goals, we'd have 2 more points and we wouldn't be sat ninth. We wouldn't be sat ninth. We'd still be 6th at that point.
Well, at the moment, we're getting near to Gab's 17th, aren't we? I think we're near the 17th than what we are to top of league.
No, but Birmingham are miles away. That's what makes you feel better, is that Birmingham are top. We'll forget about them. Al, whilst we can appreciate that Wycombe deserved the win yesterday, I must say, I do think we had the better chances in that game of the Earl miss and then Phillips. I think, Al, them 2 chances alone, probably better than nearly any that more clear cut than any of the Wycombe opportunities that they actually did take in the end, obviously barring the penalty. So there were almost a point where we could have been 3-1 up in that game.
We could, couldn't we? But we've seen that before. We've had chances after chance after chance. I mean, all you can go is 55 in Bristol Rovers. Same, you know, with chance after chance, and we didn't score. So there's something not right. What they're doing on training pitch. Are they missing on training pitch, or is it nerves when they're playing for 90 minutes in front of the crowd? And they're only, I don't understand why they're only just over 3,000. What, 3,700? We were Wycombe fans, second in league. What were they doing on a Tuesday night? I don't know. And I must admit, their fans were calling for everything. They wanted Pine sending off, want the penalty. And I'm certain they got Robbo sent off as well. I mean, their players surrounded straight away Mr. Drysdale. And I think if he'd have given himself a minute, he might have changed his mind, but he got it straight out. So they played the game. And credit to them. They played the game.
But you've got to look at the experience and the leaders that they've got in their team. You've got to look at Leahy, Sonny Bradley, Scowen. Anya Dinmer is now a pretty, Jack Grimmer as well, captain. They are the sort of players that get you through 75 plus minutes, who pull people up by the bootstraps. Now, our leader decided to fly into a tackle and get him sent off. His actual captain has been getting progressively worse since he got the armband, in my own opinion. I love Luca to bits, but I've also got to be factual. I'm not going to lie. I think he has got worse since he got the armband. So, I mean, what we're doing. Josh Earl, I think is a great defender, but sometimes he just seems to forget he's playing football. He just loses himself. Pines, he tries, but like I say, excellent in the air. But then his feet is, I mean,
He's gangly.
be like me doing tap dancing. No chance. Not great with his feet. I think Russell's getting better. I think Russell, we missed him the other game, and I think he played well yesterday. He gives the ball away. Don't get me wrong, he gives the ball away a lot, but he does win the ball a lot as well, and he does a lot of yardage in the midfield. And Keeler Dunn again, it looked lost. Didn't really see him do much. If he's not up front, you don't really see him do much. If he can't stay central, he gets lost out wide. And that's really what. Waters and Humphreys now injured. We've got. It's hard to see where the next 3 points coming from. I'll be honest.
At least we've got a nice easy game against a not informed side or coming up or something like that.
What a team that's just won 3 battles? Come on.
Yeah. At least
Can't be one of them, surely.
Just to say it, they've scored 9 in 3, and we've scored 2 in 3.
Lovely.
They've got 9 points. We've got none. So it's
Oh,
not.
This is going to be lovely. Very even, clearly an even.
This is what it's always
Anybody's
like.
game, isn't it? Anybody's game on Saturday.
This is what it's always like when we're charitable. Like we come up against a side who want 1 in 5. It's like
To make it worse, they've lost 1 in 7 as well.
Oh well.
Great.
Does that mean we're going for a Burton?
Jane, obviously
Yeah.
it's
Owen Dodson coming back as well.
he is. Signed on loan, I think, during this winter.
And Bob Vadson as well. We love him. Ex-Bolton.
I think he scored 3 or 4 since he signed. He's been on fire. It is sort of frustrating when you look back at the goals yesterday, of sort of how easy it was of a quick throw-in, that led to the penalty, and then the second one where Pines just. The thing that annoyed me with the second one is I get people can blame McCarthy for stepping out, but he had to do that, otherwise their player's going to carry ball another 20, 30 yards into our half.
Yeah.
He plays it wide. Pines looks at Coney, sees him, then turns his back away from him.
Yep.
And then turns his back again, has no idea where he is, and then gets stuck underneath the ball. He can't win it. It's just
frustrating.
To me, that's you do that under 12s. It's not professional level defending.
Poor, innit? It's poor, and it's for us fans. It's frustrating. I mean, we've seen some stuff, haven't we? Us as Barnsley fans, we've seen some stuff. Let's be honest. We've seen some right bloopers, haven't we? But it's up there with one of them. You just think this game's been absolutely dire. Did you really have to do that as well as everything else? So, no, it's frustrating. But as I've said before, it's becoming a pattern. These little mistakes, these frustrations, these whatever they are, whatever it is, it's a pattern and it needs addressing. It needs addressing. And like you say, it's under 12 stuff. Professional footballers shouldn't be doing things like that. It shouldn't be happening, should it?
No.
Simple as that. It shouldn't be happening. And it seems to be like a snowball effect of when we have a bit of a bad blip, it just goes, well, we're just going to get worse. And I'm doing that mistake and I'm doing that mistake. And you just think, what are we doing? What on earth are we doing? It's one of them head in your hands moments, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like it's like this you can do worse thing.
Yeah, they're all, I did it worse, I did that worse. I was like, no, this is not the aim of the game. This is not what we're supposed to be doing, boys.
No, you've been to Tenerife, I've been to 11 Reef. Watch this.
Yeah, no, not competition. But it's another one of them shows where we just all go, what's happening?
It can happen to us. That's the thing as well.
It's like I said, being a Barnsley fan, it's the hope that kills you every single time.
Could be worse for Bolton.
They're above us.
Yes.
Yeah, but
I'd love to be Bolton now.
but with the size of their heads, must be a cruel beating to lose their Lord and Saviour.
Great. Get your thoughts on last night's game down in the comments below. I mean, there's not really much of a positive to take. I've tried to take the positives of that Earl chance and Phillips chance. I've tried to get as much as I can out of
Good
them.
old Josh.
So I've seen what I can do.
Phillips' shot has still been seen orbiting Earth.
From a yard away. A yard
I
away.
think it landed in my back garden here in Mount Breton, to be honest. I think
I've sent a letter
whoever that football is.
I've sent a letter to EFL today to ban additional time.
No,
Yeah, we get a lot of that, don't we?
That'll do. We'll pick up loads more points. I might get promoted if we do that. Lovely. Right. So transfer window. We're on the 29th of January. It's 9 o'clock. And the last thing we've seen is Will Norris has turned us down, which have been reported by Andy Piddins. Al, I know we said in the window, that left wing back, Fruji came in early doors, got off to a good start. We know we needed forward in that time, especially when you look back to Bristol Rovers game in particular. And just that one game of if we had Coney, we'd have been 3-0 up by half time, we'd have been cruising. And then a goalkeeper, just because of that Selina's gone back. And it seems like Jackson Smith just not fancy. I know a few games ago we didn't have a keeper on the bench. And we just had Killip. I think I'm adding 2 centre-halves to that list. Which I have been saying. I'm not going to pray that. I have been saying it all transfer window that, by the way, we aren't very good at back.
No, we haven't have yet. Remember that.
But I must admit, last night I think highlighted every single problem we've got in that back line.
It's shown the frailties, hasn't it, in our defence?
Yeah.
That with no pace at back, we get turned and we get players who's got pace straight behind us, and the drag us left, right, and we've no answer to that, have we? So I think that's crucial. If we're wanting to push up in top 6, we've got to sort of defence out. We need a striker because, to be honest, what we've got at the moment ain't working. And yeah, we still want to probably keep it to push Killip and keep Killip on top form. So I think I'd say one defender. I know you want to, but I'd say a decent defender. Someone who can control, someone who's boisterous, and someone who's a leader. We need a leader.
Wouldn't be like Charlie Good? Yeah.
No.
Just signed.
I know exactly bloke. Michael Solbauer. That is exactly the type of defender we need right now.
What do you mean? One that we paid to get in and then we let leave for free? One of them?
No, the one that kept us up that season on his own, basically.
Yeah, but I mean that's what happened though. They let him go for free.
In lockdown as well. That wasn't it. That was lockdown, wasn't it?
He kept. Sometimes you got to make an investment. You don't get a return on it. That's exactly
what we know how much our board like to invest.
Yeah, yeah. 0.
Saying, I will just ask this though, Josh. You've just added 2 defenders to the long list of needs that this club needs, right? But you're the one saying that we can't get anybody in. So how would you expect us to be able to do that?
2 loan signings. You look at Charlie Taylor, who Wycombe have just lost back to West Brom. 2 loan signings. When we brought in Bobby Thomas, it weren't necessarily that. It weren't that difference maker like Daryl DK when we brought him in Jan. And Daryl
just solid.
And Daryl DK took us from like mid-table champ to we got in top 6. He dragged us there almost on his own. We just need, even if it is, and looking back to Solbauer when we signed him, because that again another January transfer window as well, if I remember rightly. We just need that calming figure and someone that is a bit mobile, can lead a back line, because as much as I like Roberts, and it's great, obviously, like having a Barnsley lad in team and things like that.
Yeah.
That example he set yesterday is cutting a frustrator figure, as you said, Jane. He's cutting a frustrator figure.
Yeah.
I think when we signed him, we didn't expect him to play this much this season. I think we probably expected sort of Earl Pines and DeJuvenator with the back 3, and then Roberts comes in sort of as and when we need him. So he's playing a lot of games. He's probably going to break down in the second half of the season because of the volume of games we've got coming up in the second half. I don't feel comfortable then necessarily having a back three that could, well, this weekend will probably be Conor McCarthy, Pines and Josh Earl, because we ain't got Roberts for selection. It's not a great back 3 then. So I think 2 good loan signings, the level of Bobby Thomas, and it doesn't fix the entire problem. I think the fundamental problem defensively is the formation we play and the way in which we operate it.
I'm getting increasingly annoyed with the formation.
Yeah.
We have nothing in attack.
We have
It is so annoying.
Yeah.
No, but we're so leaky at the back as well. It's not
Yeah.
like having 5 at the
Yeah.
back is helping. I'd rather just have 4 at the back and have more bodies up top.
Yeah.
You know, it is for no end. I know people ain't been going on about tactics, but just give me a solid 4-2-3-1 any day. You know,
I think if we had to play that to continue with 5 at the back, I think it's absolutely fine as long as you play a box midfield of Phillips, DKD behind a striker, and then just get Luca and McCallie to sit. Because then you've got cover for when Gent and O'Keefe go up from basically.
Yeah.
Just send him up there. Don't get him to defend because you've basically got 5 and 5. It'd work and it'd be fine. But I think going back to your point of, yeah, we probably ain't got, like, if we ain't got no money, then just loan some players in.
Yeah.
The problem is with that is you have to wait until the end because that's when teams have all been finalised and like, right, actually, we can let that player go. Or, and you're not
we've got that defender in now. Now
Yeah.
we've got now we can allow him to leave.
It's only problem, especially now we're in League One as well. We go further down the chain of how that reaction works. Of if there is something in Prem, and then which like everything works in sort of a cycle of there's someone in Championship interested in that, right? That's now freed up that player because they've signed someone else to. It's just being in League One makes that harder. And as much as we apparently don't have no money, there's still 10 million in that transfer revenue from Kitchen, Anderson, Collins when they all left. There's still that we're getting paid in instalments, and as everyone says, why can't we do that to everyone else?
Exactly. That's my point. It's like it's not like we're a club that doesn't make significant funds. When we sell a player, we do get decent. We have recently started to get decent money for them, but that money doesn't seem to be going back out to bring bodies in. And it's I can understand the club costs a lot of money to run and blah blah blah. You know, I don't. But other owners manage to do it, so why can't our owners?
There's not a club that makes a profit. That's the thing I don't get. Like when people say,
neither does like Lincoln and Leyton Orient, but they seem to get stronger every year.
That's what I don't get of when everyone's like, the border asset stripping, they're doing this. They're not because they're putting money into it. Like they can make it run fundamentally better and more efficient, but end of the day, you still got to put money into it. If you're in a club, you have to put money into it.
But like I said, the past few years, we've been at the point where we've literally been 1 or 2 signings away from back to the Championship, and then they wouldn't have to pump the 8 million in. So why don't they just grit the teeth and just put in a little bit more in, just that little bit more, and but that's my issue anyway. Anyway, transfers. I've got a few players that we should look at.
I want to hear your list. I want to hear your shopping list.
I'll go with a player now just because his name's popped up and he's somebody I've mentioned on multiple videos. And I don't understand why we're not getting him because I think he'd be perfect. Molyneux at Doncaster. He's scored again tonight. Scoring midfielder, same as DKD. You know, he's a real runner, can run with that ball. Can do all the pressing side of stuff, can create, can score, all-round midfielder, brilliant. Striker, it's really hard to find one that's actually scoring goals. But Matthew Stevens at Wimbledon has seemed to have found his scoring boots this season. He seems to be 13 goals this season. Seems 25-year-old, I think he is. So he's at a good age, and I think he might be ready to step up. But goalkeepers of where I've been looking because of the Norris news, I was like, oh, well, is anybody around him that we could possibly get in, even though I know Killip's doing well. Liam Roberts only had 1 appearance for Millwall. You know, we might try and get him. But Jack Bonham is been at Stoke. He was their main keeper for 3 seasons. He's not made an appearance this season. I think they might be looking to get rid of him. And I think he'd be a great goalkeeper for us at this level. But my creme de la creme, somebody that I think would be absolutely fantastic, right? He has made 6 appearances this season, but I think Cup's been entwined in that. Sol Bryn from Middlesbrough. He was absolutely fantastic at Leyton Orient last season. And I think he was the goalkeeper of the year last year. And he would be fantastic in this squad and in the system and the way he likes to play. I think he's great with the ball at his feet, and I think he's fantastic in between the sticks as well. So that's my list of goalkeepers.
I honestly thought, I don't know why, I thought you said Adam Davis. I didn't think it was a solid.
Oh.
It's just because you said cup games are like, yeah, Davis did play against us actually. We beat him. I was like, yeah, he did.
No.
He did. As soon
I
as you
think
said it, I thought it
think
was
we've
him.
got enough. We've been stung enough with people coming back from that
Yeah.
2016 team.
True.
No, squad that.
Sorry, we'll be asking for Sam Winnell to come back and score us some goals.
I said, don't push
Let's
it.
see what his Grove's
I
doing.
said, don't push it. After where you left.
A couple of decent sides together. See if Wycombe will let Josh Gowan go in home also there.
Tried kidnapping
Have a look.
Hamilton, either that
I
didn't work.
took him last night. He looked all right last night.
Jade, where would
Yeah.
you like to see us strengthen? So obviously, I think it almost writes itself a little bit now. And as well as in that, do you expect us to actually do it? Because I think if I were to get my way, I'd be looking at 4 or 5 signings to sort of lay the squad to have a chance. And wishful thinking with.
You think they will? Really?
If they're ambitious and if they want to make a statement, yes,
Yeah.
they have to. And I appreciate that some things will have to move, as Sam Cosgrover's apparently moving on in Alan's house again.
I know, yeah, I was just about to say he's going in the same direction he should be going.
every week, Cosgrove's been leaving your background.
Well,
And
I just seen it live and in colour.
I appreciate a lot of that has to happen
Yeah.
towards the end of the window, as we've said, sort of as teams finalise. But do you think we will actually make any progress in terms of any signings between now and then?
well, we've clearly. Well, all right. I'll start with a positive. We've tried to get a keeper. He said no, but we've tried to do something. So they're
reportedly, we don't know if it's true. Let's just say that as well.
Listen, credit's due, pal. We've tried, yeah? We've tried to get a keeper today. So maybe, just maybe, they're looking at getting players. Now, we said this all the time, and it's not going to happen. We need a striker. Every time we say it, honestly, I could get a mug or a T-shirt.
We need to put that on that new poster that we're making.
Yeah, I could get my Barnsley shirts every year.
Sign a striker.
We need to sign a striker. And it'll just be relevant season after season after season. But you know they're going to go for midfielders. You know they're going to go for attack. You know, centre mids. They're going to go for attacking midfielders because 1, they're cheaper. 2, you can get more of them. So they're not as niche as what your strikers are. And they can cover both areas. So that's what we're probably going to do.
Ball on you.
Centre mids on loan. Possibly a keeper. I think that's about best we'll do. I'm not going to lie.
That does sound a lot like when we got Bassi and Dominguez Queen. We were crying out for a striker, but got 2 second midfielders instead.
Yeah. It's all right, but do you know what I find funny? They make one good appearance and they get a song. You know what I mean? Killick's playing brilliant all season, and he's not got a song.
No song for me.
I'd have Bassi back tomorrow. He was class.
Yeah.
And do you know what? I'd have Barre back and all. Mike Barre.
Oh, yeah. I liked him, though. He put effort in.
He was good, him.
He just did a lot of running. He didn't have much. He was all right to link up play, but yeah, he was kind of getting kicked all out, wasn't he?
Bless him. But yeah, right. Let us know if your transfer window shopping list has changed after last night. I think we all know.
Who would you pick? Roberts, Bryn, or Bonham?
If I knew how to make it, do you know what? If I knew how to make a poll in comments or YouTube description, I'll get him there for you, Craig.
I like that Saul Bryn one though. I liked him.
I should have once had a 4th one in there of Adam Davis just in case. Get the band back together.
All right, I'll throw one in there, right? Shut your ears, Jade. Joe Wildsmith. He's another one that's not made an appearance all season.
Didn't he turn us down in summer?
Yeah, but he might be like thinking because he's not made an appearance.
I'm not having that. He's not coming
back.
But
he did play for other side, didn't he?
If it's up to me, he's not coming back.
Other side.
Well, Kieran Flavel's doing well on loan where he is. He's pulling up trees, young Kieran. So we've got a young lad there who possibly could come back and in goals and be good for us. So
he'll be first choice next season. After Killips contract up in summer. If I'm right, is it?
Not certain.
No.
Can't remember.
Oh dear.
Right, let us know any of your transfer suggestions down in the comments below and any positions that you like to see us recruiting as well. Right, finally, looking forward then to Saturday and the visit of Burton Albion. So, manager Gary Bowyer, it'll be his 10th match in charge, having won 3, drawn 3, and lost 3 in his first 9. Very consistent across all those. Top scorer Daniel Orsi with 6 league goals this season, coming in from Crawley in the summer. Form won 5 games all season, but 3 of those have been the last 3 games after beating Wigan, Rotherham, and Reading, which is very much given a chance of staying up this season. Key player Elliot Watt over the season, providing 5 assists from midfield, but also Bod Vardsen has been a good signing so far this window. Seems like he's hit the ground running there. Formation 3-5-2. And an obscure stat about them of just over a century ago, Burton was the undisputed brewing capital of the world. Hence their name, the Brewers.
Wow.
Al, you're not in the box, are you, for this game?
Yes.
Ah,
Really?
I mean.
Oh, here we go again then.
Yes.
You'll never learn, Al. You'll never learn, and it's all your fault.
Cucumber sandwich brigade, here he is, look.
No, it's a breakfast on Saturday.
Looking down on everybody.
No, here we go.
And he likes to present his sin as an everyday man.
Yeah, he does.
If anybody wants to predict the score, just make sure you predict Burton.
I thought you were a man of the people, Alan. Man of the people. Look at you now.
Hey, them silk sheets, they soon take over, don't they? You know what I mean?
I can't believe you've done this to us, Al. You can see the form we're on, and you're going to make it worse.
You've gone back in more.
Look, there's a first time. Look, there's a first time.
You know what? If I were not doing, I'd be like, you're not coming in.
Yeah.
Get back in Ponty end.
Look, there's a first time for everything. I have to see them win whilst I'm in, executive suite area. I've got
Get
to
back in. Get back in Ponty.
I will
if you carry on though, you'll have spent enough money in there to sign a striker.
I'm back in Ponty for Huddersfield. Trust me.
Oh, that's good.
Might win that one then, Al.
We'll be sat mid-table by then because you've ruined our form.
Throwing him at guy out.
We'll be buying Gabe a new shirt saying sorry. We said it too soon.
There'll be flags at Ponty. Smithy out.
Yeah. Another word with Matt at up and down and get that flag changed. Well, I've signed a striker on one half of it, another half of you're not allowed in box. Anyway, Al, how would you feel about this one? Because obviously, as we've seen there, Burton really sort of hit some form, especially under Gary Bowyer. It seems like he took a little bit of bedding in, but especially look at that last 3, the sides that they've beaten Wigan, Rotherham, and Reading last night. Not easy places to go and win. It's not like they're beating teams around us. They're beating teams that are well above them.
They're not other, and as I said earlier in the show, they've scored 9 goals.
Yeah,
those 3 games to our 2 and got 9 points to our 0. So when you look at it, and last night there were 2 apiece going into additional time, and I think was it Roman Burrell, 90 plus 2. So we've got a lot to look forward to, haven't we? We've conceded last 2 home games.
yeah,
in additional time. They're scoring in additional time. I mean, you couldn't write it, could you?
Fair game.
And Owen Dodgson's back into, according to form. He's, I think, in last 2 games, he's created 2 goals. Mm-hmm. So he's on fire. We had on loan. Was it last season we had him on loan? And it's not going to be an easy game, to be honest. They're flying, we're not. It's as simple as that. And it depends who's available for us. I mean, we are 2 strikers injured. What we got? That's the big ask, isn't it? Does Andy Dallas come out at woodwork and start? Who knows?
He's not allowed, apparently. Craig, it is one of them when you look at the form that Burton have sort of turned around so far, this especially over the last few games, 1 loss in the last 6. It seems like they have turned the corner, but in their not defence or anything, but they're still having to bridge a gap to actually get out of relegation. Still sat 21st after winning 3 in a row. You're sort of like picking up 9 points against teams around you that they don't want to be picking up as many points. but it's still not been enough so far to actually drag them out of that relegation zone, which it's a bit of a mental thing of they're still chasing something, they're still trying to get out of there, which is probably makes them a little bit more dangerous than if they had already got out of the relegation zone as such.
Yeah, I think mentality is a big thing. I think it's wildly underrated when it comes to especially a team pulling together and pulling up by the bootstraps. At the minute we seem mentally fragile. You know, I know Boss keeps trying to put a positive spin on it, saying lads are just looking forward to the next game and all this, but it does get to a point where they're like, well, we're putting all effort in, and we're not getting nothing for it. They've made a couple of good additions, real good additions for them, because they were plummeting. They've looked horrible all season. But you see, it just shows this is to the owners. A couple of good key signings can turn your team around. You just need to be willing to get them in. Right? So I'll stop. I'll stop having a go at Bard now. But yeah, look, it's only in next few games they're going to be out of there. But they've still got something to strive for, which is getting out. They're going to come to us. We're at home. We're not the best team at home. The crowd are not going to be happy, especially if we don't sign anybody. They're going to be fuming. They're going to be booing from first minute.
Yeah.
As soon as they get a chance, they're going to have a go at every player and board member. They're going to have a go at everybody because every fan's screaming out for something to happen, and nothing's happening. So the crowd are going to turn quick. So the team better start quick. A good meaty challenge, pressing well, not dawdling with ball at back, not kicking ball out, not giving ball away. They've got to be real good from the start to get the fans on side, because I think the starting down if not happens at transfer market. But Burton are going to come and they're going to be like, no to lose. No to lose. Confidence is high. We're going against a team that's not great at home. It's and I think they're going to be fairly buoyant back coming up against us, and they're going to see that fragility, especially if they watch that match. They're going to know as not Captain Roberts is not going to be playing. If they do the research, they're going to know Humphries is injured, Waters is injured, and lacking numbers up top. There's a lot of positives for them. And the biggest factor of all is Al's going to be an executive suite. So they're going to know that all omens are pointing towards them winning.
Get it right. Club 64.
It's not wrong though.
I'll never be there, Al.
Yeah, we don't know all this because we sit in normal seats.
We're
with grunts, us.
We're all full of cold by full time.
Yeah.
That's it.
Dying for a Bovril but can't afford one. Do you know what I'm saying?
Rubbing his hands together trying to get him a teeth.
Yeah.
Hey, Kate loved it on Saturday. She got her own blanket to keep her warm.
Oh, all right.
Prawn sandwich brigade.
Yeah, that's him.
Jane, as we've mentioned there, Burton still got something to strive for, but I do think now we have in terms of we need to get back in that top six, which it can sometimes take almost that actual physical thing to happen. Like we knew we were going to be sliding down the league when you look at sort of the last few games, and obviously losing yesterday. But now instead of being hunted, we're the hunter to try and get back in there, and it's only getting tighter between sort of 5th all the way down to 10th. And puts us right in the middle of that. So potential, I agree with Craig. I think if we don't set off well or Burton going front on Saturday, it's not going to be a nice place to be.
Yeah, definitely. Right. I think you're quite right. It's going to be a real tough test on Saturday because they are a good side and we're not so great. They are our nemesis. They are our opposites, aren't they? We are the yin to their yang. But I've got the horrible gut feeling that it could turn pretty nasty, and we know what Oatwell's like when all fans are frustrated. It's not a nice place to be. It's not a nice atmosphere, and it's not good for team either, because that's not going to motivate them to nothing. But as fans, we're frustrated, and the only way to vent his frustrations is at the game, unfortunately. So I'm apprehensive. I'm not looking forward to it, but apprehensive about Saturday.
Do you think the players need to get a bit stronger mentally?
Yeah, get a grip.
When it comes to fans, because I hear a lot of players do a lot of complaint, not our players necessarily, but players from other clubs will complain and say, "Oh yeah, when we get booed by fans, it really gets us down." Dude, you're getting paid thousands of pounds a week to play the sport you love. I'm sorry, but if somebody's booing me from sidelines, I'm like, screw you, dude. I'm enjoying myself. I wish they'd just toughen up.
I think
that's society, isn't it?
It's a bit of both.
Yeah, you're true.
It is though.
Yes. I think within them two things, it goes hand in hand. Of you can always look at them and say supporters should back the players and help them.
Yeah, but
at in the first instance, you need to give them something to cheer. You need to give them. You need to give them something to back. And I think it goes back to something you said at the beginning, Craig. You talk about Burton of if we come in and it's high energy. It doesn't have to be good on ball, but if we're forcing Burton just to kick out of play and like get quick turnovers and things like that, and actually get a bit of excitement into the game and just effort, like it's not like we're asking to play like City. We're not asking for that. We're just asking to see 100% effort put in. If we don't win, we don't win, and I think a lot of fans can live with that. Of they just weren't our day. A bit like Bristol Rovers, just weren't our day. No matter what happened, we want to win that game. But when you do see games like yesterday, that's when it's frustrating because like you were losing ball all the time. You're not even trying. You're not tracking back to get back in because there's 10,000 people that had busted gut and a lung to run back into position to try their hardest for this club. And if you can't be bothered when you're getting paid X amount of money to live the dreams of everyone that sat in those stands, and you can't be bothered, and you then can't take the frustration of those fans who are paying their money. Season ticket prices have gone up this season as well, by the way, and it's expensive. It's not a nice time of year to go and watch a game. If you can't then take the criticism from the fans when you're not playing or you're not trying 100%, then I think it's justified. Sometimes I think it goes a bit over the top.
Yeah.
What fans say, but I think it's out of passionate love more than anything.
Personally, for me, I think it's if I were a footballer and stuff, I'd have my own sense of personal pride, knowing that I've given 100%. But I do think that sometimes some players just aren't tools, and they're like, you know what, I don't want to play for this club anymore. I can't be bothered running around, and it's like, but don't you have some self-love for yourself to say, you know what, didn't have best time there, but I get 100%. But other clubs are watching these players that aren't getting 100%. Do they not understand that as well? So do you know when you do leave and you're only getting offered contracts by National League or League Two teams, it's because they've seen that you're down tools. And that's why a Championship club won't come in for you. It's one of these. Also, it's just really annoying. Just, when you only see half a team trying, and I feel sorry for the players you do look at and are trying. Like I think O'Keefe's one that gives 100% most games, all games. He runs his bag out. Sometimes he's not played the best, and he's had games where he's had some clangers, but the effort has never not been there. I think Russell this year's been a revelation with that as well. He's running left, right, and centre. I said he was like a fridge last season because he barely moved anywhere. But this season, under Clark, he's completely changed and my opinion's changed. So, yeah, I just want to see more effort.
I think that's definitely key on Saturday. I think as long as they set off well and start, it doesn't seem to have to be good in a way. It's got to a point where just try is what we'd like to see after Saturday. Al, prediction. I'll come to you first because you're going to ruin it for everybody anyway because you've decided to not sit in Ponty End.
I love it.
So what do you reckon to Saturday?
Well, interesting. When we played them on 21st of September, Luke O'Connell scored, didn't he? And we 1-0 up, and we were holding on for 1-0. And then Love scored in 88th minute. And we were there and thinking, oh, not yet again. We've got a lead away, and we're coming away with a point and not 3. Early on in the season, it was us who got a late winner, 90th minute, wasn't it? Steve Humphries. So it's going to be an interesting game. They're going to be buzzing. They've only won 5 all season, haven't they? And they've won 3 in the last 3. So hopefully we can turn that around and say you're not having any more wins and we can get a victory. I'd like to think we can. And I'm hoping that it's the first time I'm in the area where I'm going to be sitting and we come away with 3 points. That would be everything if we can break a duck. So I'm going for an Andy special 2-1 Reds.
Really?
Pencil in for no points on this week. Craig?
I can't wait for this.
I think it's going to be 1-0 to Reds.
Really?
Until we hit 75th minute, and I think we're going to lose 2-1.
Then we're going to lose 3-1.
Yeah, I think we'll lose. I think we'll lose 2-1. Purely for the fact is that the 7 games that they lost, they've also conceded in every single game. So I think we'll get one in there. I don't know, Josh Hill on a corner
a fluke somewhere.
Yeah,
they just finish.
They feel sorry for us, so they put one in just to give something to cheer for. But yeah, 2-1 to Burton. I think they're on a roll, and I think we're slowly on a pretty bad decline.
And I think as well, it's going to be a very piecemeal team, as we've already said. Jane,
are we ready?
Oh God!
Are we ready? No. Oh no!
Are you going to go down the Josh route, or are you going to go down the?
Right.
Ignore the dynamic box. Ignore.
I'm not. No, Alan.
No, don't ignore
you're not getting away with it. You can eat your cucumber sandwiches and get away with it. It's not happening, pal. Huh? So I'm going 3-1 Burton. Because if they're averaging 3 goals a game, we're going to be easy pickings for them. I'm going 3-1 Burton. And I've never done that in my entire time, but I'm going 3-1 Burton.
Joe's going to sack you.
Not even bothered.
Bring back Andy.
Oh, we're not going there.
He's defending Andy. What were we saying before we started doing this?
I'll be seeing Andy tomorrow at Luncheon Club. I'll be seeing Andy tomorrow.
I'm not saying nothing now.
I bet you will. Don't you dare.
Al, did you go for a win? 2-1 win, wasn't it?
Yeah, for an Andy special.
2-1 win.
Go on, Josh.
You know what?
Come on.
A draw, isn't it?
No. I was gonna go 1-1, then I thought, I need to concede a few of these. I think we'll win 3-1. I think we.
Oh, you're going opposite way around to me.
Yeah, I am.
I like it.
I think there needs to be a reaction, almost like that Leyton Orient game when we got battered, and I've just got a similar feeling to that now.
Which strikers are going to score?
Josh, it might be
Phillips,
wind.
all 3. Adam Phillips.
That's if he's still here.
Adam Phillips, DKD, they'll score. We will not keep a clean sheet because that back 3, I think it was back 3 that'll never have played together.
Lovely.
Regardless of what it'll be.
Keep the confidence coming.
With McCarthy, Earl and Pines, weren't it?
Yeah, I assume it'll be them. Well,
Pines, it can't be hotels, can it?
I don't know.
Well, McCarthy could have won in the second half. I know, he wouldn't blame bonus goals at least, but
yeah, that's why they'll score 1. Maybe Bod Varson and all that. So he just can't stop scoring.
I hope you're right, Josh.
Pencil him for 1. But
no, this is brilliant.
I don't think you're factoring in the Al thing though at all.
He ain't at all, is he?
No, he's not. He's completely ignoring that.
I think it's about time. Burton, the duel lost. Do you know what I mean? When you're at bottom at table, you don't win 4 in a row when you're at bottom at table. That don't happen. You get to 3, and then you have a wobble. Same as what we did.
We'll see if you say that after game.
Their gaffers play the game back against Wycombe, and he's seen how we get turned around by putting balls up the top, they'll change their game plan.
Don't worry. Conor McCarthy.
It's not just that, but they've got the new manager Bounce as well. They're only 10 games in charge.
10 games in. That fell off a long time ago. They've only got good recently.
You're actually clinging on by your nails here.
No, they've only got good recently.
They've only got good recently. He's only been in charge 10 games.
Exactly.
In the last 7 of them, they've not lost. They've only lost one.
Barnsley on Saturday at lunchtime to do a Huddersfield, a 7-1-er. There you go.
Oh, that were a game.
First four.
That were a
First
game,
four
wasn't
were a
it?
pony. They were a pony in first four, so they drew a loss again. Where drew a win? Do you know what I mean?
Nobody do a win.
We drew a win.
We're overdue a win.
And it wouldn't be more us than to score a load when we ain't got a striker on pitch.
Yeah.
There's no striker on pitch, but we'll be fine. Because it'll just somehow just
and go. What happened there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll be like, all right, we've just got to play the old 5-5 formation for the rest of the season, have we? Just a load of midfielders.
I just hope on Saturday that Luke O'Connell don't pass at referee as much as what he did last home game.
Don't worry, listen, Darryl Clark, if you want to win on Saturday, I've got an idea. Why don't you try playing Luca and Wakali at the same time? Crazy idea, I know. Play them two, but next to each other. Don't bother shoving one of them for a pitch. Put them next to each other. Tell them to just sit in front of that back three because they're going to be Terry Bell, right? And then just get O'Keefe and Ginger to go as far forward as they can. And let DKD, Phillips, and I think I've run out of players. Yeah, I've run out of players. Just let them two do whatever they do. Oh, no,
Can I say what I'd do now?
He scored last night. Fetch Eddie back.
No, let's stick Cosgrove up top as a focal point and just get DKD, Phillips behind him.
What I'd do,
hold on.
just have a solid back four, right? Earl at left.
Here we go.
Right.
Earl can't play left back. He can't play left back. He's not quick enough.
Don't tell him to go forward. Just don't tell him to go forward.
What?
Get Ferrugia left wing.
Hang on. So you just want Earl to defend Bob Varson, do you?
No,
that's a terrible idea.
He don't play out wide. He don't play out wide.
He hasn't been playing at right, hasn't he? I thought he'd been playing at right for him.
I don't know. I wasn't really watching their games.
I've
been struggling through our games enough.
You don't want Imran at Earl all day. Pack that in early doors.
Anyway, you're getting a little too close to being like Joe. To be fair, I'm sure when you said 3-1, his face flickered up for a second.
Nah, would you a win? Would you a win? You'll see in comments. There'll be more wins than losses.
Josh's going to be a new happy clapper, isn't he?
That's it.
Someone's got to bring.
I think it's curse of the guy who runs the show.
I'm going to break my duck. Yeah.
Exactly. Let me see. I'm thinking about you. Although if we do lose and you tell me you're going to sit in that box again, I'm going to get you banned from ground.
Yep.
For the rest of the
season. Lick it out.
That's it, yeah. There's going to be a petition online.
No, it'll be like minus striking 84-5.
Will.
I wasn't even born then. Come on, Al. Be something a bit more recent, mate, please.
Craig done for hour.
Banners. I'll out.
Yeah. Right. Get your comments down. No, get your predictions down in the comments below. It's only the third time I've told you to do something in the comments this show. We'd love to hear your thoughts on last night's game, to get your ideas on the transfer window, any players in particular you'd like us to see as actually ever go for and actually try and sign, and then get your predictions in as well. Andy will be back next week. I know he's been away for a while by an instant reaction. And he'll be able to provide a full table update, and he'll drop it down in the comments as well of the next show. So yeah, fingers crossed we can turn this around and maybe sign some players. Who knows? At least we're trying.
We instant reaction as well, won't I?
Yes, so there will be an instant reaction. So you get to see.
What I think we should do is get Al to post up outside of Oakwell so he can be like his reporter, and keep sending videos in whenever he sees anybody walking.
Just
like his own Sky Sports correspondent.
Can I just?
I'll do you a flask of tea, Al.
Oh, Craig, what a legend! Can I just, before we get off, can I just say safe travels to everybody who is off to London to support Callum Simpson on Saturday. Everybody who's going at game, and then off to Callum Simpson. Just safe travels, guys, and shout really loud for us.
We're all
watching on Sky.
And don't forget, knock him out.
Yeah.
Ready for summer at the well. Come on.
No pressure, Callum, but we've
No.
not been very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we
need-
can do something to
Smile
scream
about
about.
Yeah, we need something to celebrate at a minute.
Yeah.
So, yeah, good luck, Callum, in your next fight.
Yeah.
And we're back on Saturday with an instant reaction after beating Burton 3-1. We'll see you there, you Reds.
You Reds.